Hello. Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to 2023. And today we're going to talk about an album that I vividly remember. I remember it because I reviewed it. And I wanted to come here to express how my thoughts on this album have changed. And I honestly thought they would be a little bit more negative. But no, actually. This album has gotten better over time. I don't think it's good enough to change my rating too much. I still think the rating I gave it suits it. Because, a 9 is pretty good. It's still not my absolute favorite Will Wood project, but it is, in fact, a good one. Here's the thing. I want to talk about this because it means so much. I didn't understand what it meant the first time that I listened to it, even the second time, or even the third time. But I knew it meant something that I would come to understand a little later. And it's interesting because this album gives you so much, but not exactly what you wanted. And it's very obvious given some of the songs here just being directly addressed to you. And I think that's really interesting. Where in other albums, there would be more addressed to Will Wood as a character, as a persona, and as many things. His albums usually never were directed at the listener, you know? Like Everything Is a Lot, which, by the way, I'll take back what I said last time. We do talk about Everything Is a Lot. That was a great album. It is seriously such a good album. Anyway, like Everything Is a Lot was him focused on some random girl that probably didn't exist. Selfish was about being selfish. Go figure. A lot of what Selfish was is like him wanting to be funny Rainbow Man. So, and obviously for the normal album, it was about something. I don't know. I have my own headcanon for it, but I have really no idea what it's saying. And for this album, well, his fourth studio album, not counting his live shit, because I don't count his live shit or the soundtrack. But anyway, for his fourth studio album, he truly changed the way that his music was perceived. It doesn't give you what you want. That's my interpretation. There's a super overly long title, and it's just some jingle. It's a jingle. Like, it's directly saying fuck you to the people who wanted some old Will Wood song with an overly long title. And that is really interesting because a lot of what this album is either saying fuck you, I don't want to conform to your expectations, and a lot of it is also him brushing aside his problems like it's just really nothing, guys. Don't worry about me. This album, featuring BFB, the long title thing, was highly interesting because it was placed after this entire album that is so full of beauty and life, and it's just a little jingle showing, you know what, whatever. It's a mockery. That's what it is, and that's so interesting. I need to stop saying interesting, but that is such an interesting reminder that maybe you just don't care. You just wanted to hear some old Will Wood, right? And a lot of it is saying, like, I don't want to be that guy anymore. I don't want to be the guy that is just being just chaotic and doing all this random shit. It's interesting because it doesn't, that's not how it works. You don't need to conform to your audience. Especially your audience. You don't need to. Your audience, if they like you enough, they'll keep going with what you do. But he's so scared, he's so focused on the fact that maybe that won't work. Maybe that doesn't work. Maybe if I change the audience that I cultivated by being chaotic, wacky, silly, goofy man, maybe they won't stay for me being not silly, goofy man. And that's scary. Imagine me after I swapped my content from out of Minecraft. I mean, I was in that location. I was in that location? What? I was in that place. I was in that moment where I felt that there was something that I needed to change, but I didn't want to, because it's a simple fact that people don't like change. People like people being the same thing over and over and over again, staying as is. But that's not how it works. And this album and its success is a strong reminder of that. And revisiting this album just made everything click. Even my least favorite song originally, Becoming the Last Names, was kind of good now. It made sense. If you listen to the lyrics, it is desperately crying out for help. It made it click. Everything clicked. That Will Wood is a very broken man. And he is extremely focused on just not making that a focus. Making it seem like he's just being the silly, goofy man from before. And he hates that. He hates being the silly, goofy man. I mean, yeah, if you were the silly, goofy man, I mean, you probably... I mean, it depends, honestly. Being a silly, goofy man is kind of my thing, so... But it's scary. Change is scary, and this is the most beautiful album to show that. And honestly, I am so sorry for comparing this to fucking Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers by Kendrick Lamar, because it is absolutely not that. It's probably more similar to Quadeka's, his latest album, I Didn't Mean to Haunt You. That makes more sense, right? Is this yellow? This is yellow, right? Oh, that's better. I don't even know if you can see me right now. And, maybe that's also part of the album. Can you see what he means by this? What he means by truly saying what he wants to feel? Do you see it? Do you understand it? Do people understand it? And that brings me to White Noise, where Will Wood basically describes a project of his, in the end at least, where it says white noise, something, that it's an aesthetic or an aesthetic, something about that. I don't remember all the lyrics, okay? It's a little bit much. It's a bit much, but it's weird because I remember talking about this song with someone on Discord, and they said that Will was describing not this album as white noise, but his last album, the Normal album, as said white noise. And you know what? I agree. His last album said nothing, but said it quite loudly. But this one is different. It doesn't try to be loud. And at that point, maybe the message gets lost with just a couple people, including myself. I didn't understand it the first 3 times listening to it until today, where I revisited it for the first time in a couple months. And I don't know why, but it took a while for me to actually want to see the album, like listen to the album again, because it is a long album and the pacing is pretty slow. All my complaints kind of stay, okay? Except the fact that the first half of the album is boring. It is not boring. It's absolutely not boring. And you know what? I wouldn't say that it's his best work, but it's his most personal work, and definitely, probably, I wouldn't say better than the normal album. But yes, maybe. Because if the normal album was indeed saying nothing, and this obviously says something, why can't this be his best album? Why do I conform him to the silly, goofy man? The silly, goofy man that he once was. Why do I do that? Just some food for thought. I think that ends my discussion. I just wanted to talk to you guys. Happy New Year. It's 2023. I just wanted to change my content, and I'm glad to the people who have stuck around to see the content that I've been putting out, the different films and different projects. I mean, thank you all. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.